Good, good, happy morning. I am live at 11. I tried to go live at 10, but I got distracted. So happy Monday morning, everyone. I am tuning in on LinkedIn, on Facebook Business, Facebook Personal, and also on YouTube. Happy Monday morning. I'm just um a lost soul this morning. I'm moving, and so the packers are packing up the space, and so I wouldn't be in a way. I just leave out and find a place to come and be productive, right? So really, I'm not a lost soul. I'm very intentional. I'm an intentional lost soul. Um, but yeah, so I'm sitting here in this is kind of like our community room, and I've just been doing some personal development. So that's just what I do, right? Some people, um, spend a lot of time on social media. Some people, spend a lot of time building out their content, which I do too. I don't spend a lot of time, but I spend a little time. But the most of my time is spent in just really personal development. Um, I'm always like positioning myself to expand and meet a new level of myself, if that makes sense. Because I think it's important. I'm doing this from my phone, so it seems really weird. So that's the other thing. So I'm on my phone because I don't have access to my computer. And I could go over to my office, but I'm just not ready to go to the office yet because I'll be there. If I go there, that means I will be there for hours because I think the Packers are going to be here until probably about 4 or 5 o'clock. And so I'd rather go to the office like at 1 p.m. and then only be there a couple of hours because we're not even open on Monday. That's the other reason why I don't want to go. So I'm just going to sit here and let's chat, right? Because I just feel like sometimes, like when we're in this space of growth, and we should just share. Like, how do you practice your space of growth? Like, what things are you doing? I will say that the more we share, then the more open people are to um, trying new things, right? So, in life coaching, we learn about the will of life. That's something that we teach um, to our incoming life coaches. We teach them about the will of life so they can use it with their clients. But we also teach in life coaching that your first client is yourself, right? You are your first avatar. You are your first client. You are your first everything. So I just feel that all leaders should do the will of life if they feel like they're extremely stressed. You have lack of time. You're not reaching your goals. Nothing is really like falling into place for you. So I want to share something that I do that helps me to create not balance, because I really don't believe in balance. What I just believe in is that you're responsible for just getting shit done, right? So wherever you're lacking, you got to get it done. You don't create balance for it. You just say, hey, I need to get this done. And you do it from the most, extreme priority to the least extreme priority. But what we typically do is we take the things that we're operating pretty well in. We take those things and we put it first because it's comfortable. The routine is easy. It doesn't require you to like make a lot of change. It doesn't require you to make a lot of effort. And a lot of us just like to operate in that energy. I don't get it. I don't get why we want to operate in that energy. But it takes a lot of intentionality. It takes a lot of focus. It takes a lot of energy. It takes a lot of passion to flip that priority list around where you literally start just working on things that's keeping you or hindering you from growing. And I just want to show you what we use here in the life coaching world that can teach you how to do that, right? And so it's called the Wheel of Life. And I'm going to see if I can bring it up. That way I can talk. Oh, boom. Oop, I got it. I was really scared of like how this was going to look from my phone, but it's really, really small too. So let me see if I can flip my phone around and make this a little bit bigger. Awesome. I got it here. I look really stretched on my screen, but hopefully it doesn't translate this way on your end. So when we're talking about the Wheel of Life, the Wheel of Life will help you to close the gap where you are and where you want to be in all seven dimensions of your life. If you can figure out where your gaps are, then you will probably stop being so stressed out. You will probably stop saying, oh, I don't have time for this and that. Things are really important for you because you will make the time, right? You will stop saying, oh my gosh, I missed my baby's recital, or I can't go to date night, with my boo because I'm overworking myself. You will stop saying all of that once you really zone in on what's important in your life, what's most important to what least important, right? Stop focusing stop focusing on what's least important because it's not yielding you any type of growth and any type of success, right? So what we want to focus on is what's most important in our life, and we want to create great habits and great routines and closing those gaps so you can see massive, right? You can see massive growth in your life. And really, that's the only difference between people who are winning consistently and people who are not winning consistently. It is this will of life. It is not just focusing on one aspect of your wellness, but focusing on all seven dimensions, right? And I've been teaching this stuff since like 2008. I've been going hard with the seven dimensions of wellness, which is the reason why, you have people who really focus on these things and you wonder why it's always so pleasant to be around them. Why are they also joyful? They're always joyful. They're always happy, at least when you see them, right? Because they're resilient. They know how to bounce back. People like us, we know how to bounce back. How are we always positioning ourselves to help others? You know, you're always seeing, these type of people growing and expanding and doing exciting things. It's not because they have a lot of money. It's not because, they're just these highly favored people. It's because they have learned how to prioritize what's most important in our life. And the things that are least important, we ain't even worried about that type of stuff. Like that stuff just kind of flows in. So I want y'all to look at this whole life success wheel. And I kind of want to go through it with you, just to kind of give you some foundation of how to use this to close your gaps of where you are now and where you want to be. You have to ask yourself, where is it do I want to be in my life? Really, really. Where is it that I want to be in my body? Where is it, my physical body? Where is it that I want to be in my mind and my emotions, right? Where is it that I want to be in my relationships and lifestyle and career and in my mission for life? Where is it that I want to be in my money and my finances and my spirituality? Where is it that I want to be in contribution and giving back? If you do some of these things really, really well, then we don't need to focus on that. I need for you to get so uncomfortable with focusing on the things that are keeping you from growing. And that's the problem. That's the gap that you're having of why you're so stressed out, of why you can't prioritize things that light you up and make you happy first, which are things normally, for yourself. and why you're not advancing in your career, why your startup business isn't thriving, why your children probably running amok, why your relationships are poor. You're having poor relationships with yourself and with others. All of these things center right here. You can't just focus on one area of your life because that's the area that you do really well in, right? That's the area that's giving you that love and connection. That's the area that's giving you certainty. That's the area that's giving you growth and expansion. It's just that one area, but when you walk outside of that area, you a hot mess. You a hot mess in them other six. And I can say that you can have close to completion in your own life where you don't have to go and seek it from someone else. Like these poor relationships we get into because we're seeking something from someone else that we're not willing to give to ourselves. I will say that you can give everything to yourself first. You can make yourself whole and complete first, and then you can go out and you can attract that energy in another mate and have them whole and complete. Instead of you going out and you're attracting where you are just simply depleted, you are also attracting a mind and emotionalist person. You're also attracting a person that has, limited money and finances. You're also attracting people who have, no attachments to their spirituality. You're also, attracting people who are takers and are not contributors or not givers. So all of these things, all this negativity that come into our life is because we're not focused on what's most important, that gap. We're not focused on that gap that needs to close. And the only way that you can truly get to that is truly by focusing on the will of life. It is a game changer when you learn how to apply it to your life, which is the reason why I love life coaches that go through certification schools that teach them this. Like this, if you're not learning about the will of life in whatever school you're getting certified at, then it's not a good school, because this truly is the focus. There's 7 dimensions of life that governs us. It governs our happiness, whether we're happy or not, whether we're joyful, whether we're sad or angry or lonely. It's this. So I want to kind of go through this and kind of show you how to do this. You can pull this up. Just go to Google and pull up Will of Life. And there's different versions of it. I like this version. It's very self-explanatory. You'll be able to kind of go through it on your own. You can do it with your kids. You can do it with your spouse, whoever. You can do it with your friends. This will be something great to do, even in vision boarding, those people who do vision boards, and it's just like, oh, get a lot of magazines and let's just cut out shit and stick it on a paper. No, have people to really intentionally focus on their gaps and build a vision board around that. That's a game changer vision board party. So those of you who are planning on throwing vision board parties, throw it around the will of life and say, hey, look at where where you're depleted at in your life and envision how you want it to be. Close that gap of where you are now and where you want to be in your body, in your mind and emotions, relationships, lifestyle, career, money, spirituality, contribution. Focus on that and then watch how the vision board experience change, because if I can go back and evaluate that 30 days later, I love doing 30-day vision boards. If I can go back and evaluate that 30 days later, I can see my growth. I'm able to go in and see the results or see, where my energy is lacking or why didn't I do that part of my vision, right? So I can't see y'all comment. So just comment, and then I'll go back and answer them later because I'm doing this from my phone. So, okay, how do we do this, Master Coach? Okay, let me show you how to do this. Looking at this wheel of life right now, let's start with the top two, which is contributions in giving back and body. Let's start up here. So we're going to work from contributions, giving back, and we're going to go clockwise way, or whatever you call it. Okay, so when you're thinking about contribution and giving back, we're talking about your time that you give, right? Time, not time to yourself, but time that you give. We're thinking about your talents and skills that can impact and empower others. Okay. We're talking about treasures, maybe you find an organization that you want to donate money to, like your earnings, right? And we're talking about legacy. So for me, when we're thinking about legacy, I just think about the legacy that my grandmother built, right? So Granny was heavy into the community. She was a Boy Scout leader. She served, you know, on city council, um what you call it. She she did cleanups, she did cleanups around the community. She started businesses. She employed other people. So her legacy was very, very, very deep. And that passed down to, it passed down to my mom. It passed down to my uncles. It passed down to the grandkids. And so when you're thinking about legacy, it's not just money, y'all. It's not just money. It is the foundation of principles and core values that you want to leave to those that you love, right? Money is always good, but money doesn't mean anything when a person with a broke mindset is receiving it. They're gonna go through your money. They don't even know how to spend it. They don't even know how to invest it. So yeah, money is good, but it's only temporary. Values and principles are a lifetime. To instill great values and principles into your family, that is the legacy that you should want to leave. And if you want to leave money, then I advise you to start doing money education with your kids, those people who are attached to your will. Start doing money education with them now, teaching them about investments, teaching them about saving, those type of things, teaching them about cleaning up their credit, establishing good credit, establish if they have business, establishing business credit. This is the shit we just didn't learn. Like in the community I come from, we just didn't learn that. But I will say that I came from a family that was just a little bit more privileged. My grandmother knew about real estate. She knew about, insurance investing. So those are the things that I learned growing up. So legacy, and I always seem to like this is like my soapbox, the legacy part under contribution and giving back, because we have it wrong. I literally have coached people who, you know, they were terminally ill. I never forget there was a year where for some reason I was like attracting these terminally ill clients, and the coaching sessions sounded like, I feel so guilty because of my terminal illness, I'm unable to leave, a substantial amount of money for my kids. And just coaching them through the true meaning of legacy really helped them to have peace in their life. That was probably one of my most profound years of being a master level life coach. Being a track, it was I had three terminally ill clients that God just sent to me. And that whole legacy coaching, it was a 6 months, and we did just legacy coaching about how to build a solid legacy for your family. That money was just that was at the bottom of the list. Everything else, spending more time, making sure they understand, the spiritual core values of the family, making sure they understand, the principles of the family, And just the regular core values. The Kendra, is there's a change in time? No. Anyway, that's my 11 o'clock. Um, she's inboxing me. She's in Kenya. And when we had our time change, everything changed. So it just offset every freaking thing. I hate time change. But anyway, so we're going to be focusing on the contribution and giving back. If you're good there, then what we want to do is we're going to rate these things a 1, and I'm gonna keep it very easy. A 1 through a 5. A lot of people say a 1 through 1 through 10, but to me that just makes us be all over the place. I need for us to nail it the first time. So where are you in contribution and giving back? Do you need like to focus more on living outside of yourself? When I say contribution and giving back, that's basically what it is. It's to live outside of yourself, right? It's for you to think about the needs of others. That's a great leader. That's a great human being. When you're able to do that, because you can learn so much about yourself when you're serving other people. I teach in my life coach certification that when you can't see any way out for yourself, when you're so freaking depressed, when you're sad, when you're so lonely, when you're just in that dark place, get out of your house and go serve somewhere. Go feed the homeless, go volunteer at a shelter or at a children's hospital. Make something, like tap into your crafting and make something and go give it away. Just whatever you do, step outside of yourself and go and do something for others. If you don't know how to do that, this is something to put on top priority, because it would make you so much richer in your spirit, and you will have less days of darkness. Some people, like, literally, when I used to like be really heavily into mental health, because that's my background, right? And I have talked to so many people who suffered from suicidal ideation, and even my mom, even growing up. And one thing that I know that saved people, even the coaches who work in the institute, some of them suffer really bad from depression. And one of the things that I teach them and I talk consistently about is stepping outside of yourself and going and serve. Because what it does is it does something to the chemical, like the feel good chemicals in our body. You can like really trick them, right? Because what happens is when we're into our own mood and into our own self, then it literally drains those feel good chemicals in our body. And we're depressed, we're sad. But to trick them, like, oh, I don't know how to feel good for myself, then you step outside of yourself and you go and serve others. So if you are a person who is always sad, like you have like roller coaster emotions, this is where you need score it low, like a 1 or a 2. Like, if you don't know how to step outside of yourself and give, score yourself a 1 or a 2, because like I said, I need for you to be so freaking uncomfortable moving into 2024 so you can focus on your need area. Okay, that was my master life coach calling me. He must don't see me that I'm live. But that's for you to focus on your need area. That's for you to focus on your gaps, right? Be brutally honest with yourself. Where are you now, and where is it that you want to grow into, right? So that could be it. Maybe you're just not, maybe you just been so self-absorbed to the point where you haven't even thought about, like, oh my gosh, that freaking makes sense. Let me step outside of myself and let me go and serve others. So then what? I'm sowing seed of generosity, kindness, love, empathy, compassion, which then what yields it back to me? What we put out in the world comes back to us. So spiritually, this is something spiritually, y'all. Spiritually, what you put out into the world comes back to you. So you've been putting out sadness and depression and hate and judgment and all those things because you've been so self-absorbed. But for some reason, when we show up for other people, that stuff goes away because all we want is to feel seen, right? We want significance. We want to feel significant. So this will of life is attached to the human needs. That's why it needs to be freaking taught in schools. When I was an educator, I used to teach this to my kids. They used to say all the time, you have the worst kids in the district because I was a behaviorist. You have the worst kids in the district. Why are they thriving? Because I taught them how to close the gap from where they were and where they wanted to be. My kids didn't want to be bad. They didn't want to drop out of school. They didn't want to be constantly in the office. They didn't want to go to alternative schools and they didn't want to get suspended every other freaking day. They wanted to feel like they mattered. They wanted to feel seen. They wanted to feel worthy. And I just taught them how to do that. So I always had them helping, like go help the janitors. Let's go down and clean up the cafeteria. Let's pick one teacher that you want to help. And that contribution and giving back just expanded them exponentially. So I spent a lot of time on that. All of the other ones matter. They matter, but for some reason, this one right here is the pill that you need to take. This is the antidepressant pill. Like seriously. Okay, let's go clockwise now. Let's move the body because now I got to go through this because now I think my 10 o'clock, my 11 o'clock appointment is trying to come through, and I really, really need to talk to her today. And it's 8 o'clock. It's 8-ish in Kenya. So body, health, fitness, appearance, composition. If you don't feel good about yourself, you're not going to show up in excellence. You're going to always feel like you have to either overdo it or you don't do enough, right? I feel good about myself. So I can do a live without no makeup on. I don't have to overdo myself in order for me to present myself because I feel good about myself, right? However, in body, I still score myself as a 3, right? So I'm gonna also give you my score so you can understand how to do this for yourself. Contribution, giving it and giving back, I'm a 5. That's the highest you can go. I'm a 5 there. I do that naturally. It's a part of who I am. I don't have to even think about doing it. Just naturally, I just do it, right? Body, I'm a 3. I've been a size, I've been a size 2, to damn near a 20. 18 is like the biggest size that I've been. So my body has gone through a lot of wear and tear. And I told my husband, because I'll be 49. I'll be 49. Isn't that beautiful? I'll be 49 next year. So I told my husband by 50, baby, this body is going to be all the way together. So I'm scored at a 3 and I scored low because I need to be thinking about my body all of the time. I need to be thinking about because I have a chemical imbalance in my body. So it just do weird things. So I need to constantly be thinking about what I'm putting into my body. Some type of, I need to do some type of physical activity. I need to be looking into things that's going to help me to feel great about my body, full clothed or naked. That's my thing. Where are you in your body? How do you score it? One to a 5. If you score it low, that means that this needs to be your focus every freaking day of your life until it gets to where it needs to go. You have some people whose bodies are fantastic, clothed and unclothed. And this is where they spend all of their time, but their mind and their emotion, their relationships, their spirituality, all that other stuff is like garbage. because that the external, we focus on the external because that's what people see, right? Don't judge a book by its cover, but we do. So mentally, even through programming, through social media, through media, all of the things, they make us focus on that external. So, if the body ain't where we really want it to be, then, we wear our name brand clothes, or we just make sure we're just super, super elegant and nice. Because class buys everything, right? You see a classy person, people are going to stare. You're going to get that significance. Most people yearn for significance. Most people yearn for love and connection. So if I can present myself as if I feel good, then people will want to know who I am, or I will get that attention. But that can't be your only focus. Just imagine if your body score was high and your mind and emotion was also high and your spirituality was also high. You would be a bad person, right? But mine's is at a 3. So I got to focus on this. This is how you feel about yourself. This is how you're going to perform. If you feel that you're too fat, if you feel that you're too skinny, if you feel that you're too dark, too light, your teeth aren't perfect, your smile isn't perfect, your hair isn't perfect. If you feel like all of these things are keeping you from being, your optimal self, then you're going to slack in showing up in excellence for yourself. So in body for me, how I feel great. But the appearance wise, I need improvement. Like you gotta be able to tell it to yourself. I need to improve in these areas. And so I am so laser focused that I've created a goal. So if you're low in that area, then you must create a goal because you got to be able to see a vision of where it is that you want to be. I know exactly what I want to look like, and I am laser focused on it. I may got to get a little work done because that's part of it. I'm preparing for it financially. So that means that my money and finances got to coincide with this body growth. So back to what I was saying, because it's still morning for my brain. So I told my husband by the age of 50, baby, you better either you gonna come with me and we gonna be super fine together, or you just gonna have a super fine ass wife. Period. Right. And so you think I'm so silly, but I be telling the truth. Because by 50, honey, that 10 years in the 50s and the 60s, I'm gonna be on point. Because that is, for me, this is where I'm most depleted. Body is a 3. It used to be a 2, but I've graduated, right? Because I've proven to myself that I can make some of the changes that I need to have made. So I've graduated to a 3, and I'm still a 3. And this is my lowest on the wheel of life. I don't have any other 3s. Everything else is a 4 or 5. Mind in emotions, I I'm 1000% dedicated to, creating my boundaries, making myself a lifelong learner, how I treat myself and others. My whole platform is about leading with love. So mind and emotions, like I have no problems there, right? So I want y'all to just kind of screenshot this or go find your own will of life. Relationships, like go through that one. Where are you? So for mind and, in emotions, I'm a 5. I'm a 5. In relationships, I'm a 5. These are the things that I used to be so depleted in, that I have put in so much freaking work that my resiliency is there. I'm not saying perfection. I'm not saying that I don't get sad. I'm not saying I don't get angry. I'm not saying that I don't have relationship conflicts, but I have so much resiliency there that my responsibility in making sure that gap stays closed is precise. That's what it looks like. It's not saying that you're perfect. It's saying that you are fully aware that you got some work to do. We're not gonna put off tomorrow what we can do today. If I gotta address you about something, I'm not going to wait until tomorrow when we could talk about it today, right? Because I'm strong with my boundaries. Or if I feel that it's too much, then I know that I need to seek, a mediator, or I need to, whatever it is, whatever I need to seek, we're gonna have this conversation because it's gonna be healthy for you and me, right? Them and you. Why? Because the longer you hold on to emotions, unresolved emotions, they turn you very, very ugly. They're very unhealthy to hold on to unresolved emotions or emotions that can't be identified. It's something that's happening in you and you can't identify it because you just maybe you've never experienced before and you're just holding on to it. You're not discussing it with anybody to help you to define it. That is not good. It's not good. So you may, if that's you, where you're kind of always feeling awkward, where you can't allow joy to come in, you can't allow peace to come in, calm to come in, reasoning to come in, right? You're just always just like a wire. Then you may need to score mind and emotions a low so you can work on that. Your body good, your body, is banging. But when it comes to that processing up here and connecting it here, baby, you need some work and it's okay. You got to be real, like you got to keep it real with yourself, right? And in relationships, maybe you are the person who always in conflict. Because I will tell you, like I know people, every time I talk to them, they always in freaking conflict with people. I'm not always in conflict with people. Most people who have consistent conflict with others is because of the internal conflict with yourself. You're yearning for that significance and that intimacy. And sometimes you can overly do that where you're so overly critical and you put people on these pedestals that you can't even hold for yourself. And that's the reason why you're constantly in conflict instead of just meeting people where they are. Why? Because well, I told you what you put out is what you receive back. So if you're not meeting people where they are and helping them to grow, then people are not going to meet you where you are and help you to grow. That's the beautiful human interaction that I love with other humans. It's like we welcome each other where we are. And then from there, your intelligence is going to grow me. My intelligence is going to grow you. But our lack of emotional intelligence will deplete both parties. And it's just like, I can't stand your voice. I don't even want to look at you. You're arguing, you're fighting, is because you're battling with e- both spirits are battling. That low vibrational part of us is battling with each other when what should be happening is both people should be exercising their intelligence, IQ and EQ, so both people can advance and evolve. Those are the greatest people to have relationships with because if they stay with you or if they leave you, they're going to leave you better than how they found you. Believe that. Believe that. They're going to leave you better than how they found you. Don't just think of relationships you've had and you left them better than how you found them. And now their life has propelled. You like, man, he didn't treat me like that when he was with me, or she didn't treat me like that when we were together, and now they're with somebody else and their relationship is blossoming because you contributed it so much of your EQ and your high vibration into their life that it stuck with them. And for some reason, when y'all were together, you just couldn't get it together. That's just life. That's how it goes, right? So in your relationships, business, like how you interact with your coworkers, your family, do you even know your freaking neighbors? I just had like before I went into my house the other day, my neighbors across, we always talk to each other. We literally had like a 5-minute conversation before we can even make it to the house because we're that is something that we intentionally deposited into each other. And I planted to see because when I first met them, I was like, oh my gosh, you're my neighbors because they had just moved in. And I was like, oh my gosh, you're my neighbors. And I just love communicating with my neighbors. And then they was like, oh my gosh, that's so good to know because we love communicating too. And I was like, if you ever need something, it's okay for you to come and knock on my door. So you have to create those relationships with people. So my relationships is at a 5. I am going to communicate as effectively as possible. I'm not going to I am not going to have some type of emotion or some type of inner disagreement in a person that I am trying to grow a relationship with do not know. We do it all the time. We have like these imaginary things that's going on inside that the other person don't even know about. And that causes conflict in relationships. Lifestyle. Let's move to lifestyle. This is one of my favorite ones. Just get out and have fun. Do something for yourself. Stop. Just stop it. Stop working, 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 and not creating moments and not creating experiences. Why? Because it ties back into contribution and giving back, the legacy part. If the people that love you only just know you for, oh, she worked so hard. I don't want people to say that about me. I'm gonna tell you exactly what they're gonna say. That LaKendra is spontaneous. She lived the life. This is what people are gonna say on my last days. We would wake up and have to call her and say, "Are you in the country? Like, where are you? What fun are you having?" This is the talk that you should have for your life. You should be tapping into your creativity. Where are you creative at? Cooking, crafting, building, musically, what? Where are you talented at? And if you are talented somewhere, why aren't you exercising your gifts? Why aren't you living in alignment with your gifts? Right? Maybe you're funny. Maybe, I don't know. Are you resting? That's also in lifestyle. How do you rest? I did a story or something yesterday. People be really like, "Oh my gosh, Lakendra, you're always awake." No, I'm not. You think I be awake for 24 hours? I sleep 6 to 8 hours a day. It's just when am I gonna go to sleep? That's the question. But because I run a global brand, I can't sleep like normal people sleep because like right now in Kenya, it's almost 9 p.m. So if I don't catch them in the morning, then I have to catch them in my evening. Also in the Philippines, if I don't catch them in my morning, then I have to catch them in my evening because it's 15, 16, 14 hours. My people in Dubai, my people that's just everywhere. That's just how I live. So I would say lifestyle is a 4. It's a 4 because I want to get to the point where I can just be off the grid. I just want to go off the freaking grid for months and have my shit still operating. So I'm going to give it a 4 because I can go off the grid, but I can't go off the grid longer than 2 weeks. I've already tried it. I cannot go off the grid longer than 2 weeks because all hell will break loose. But I'm working on it, and so it's a 4. It's not that's not really really important for me, so I don't focus too much on it because I have given myself grace where I can go off the grid if I need to go off the grid and really rest and really just tap into my fun self and just really explore life. So that's that. Where do you score yourself? Let's move into career and mission. Okay, what is your mission to life? What are you good at? And what you're good at, is that what you're doing for business? What does the world need? What do you feel that the world need that you have to offer? And are you offering it? What could you be compensated for that you're really, really good at? And are you in position where you're being compensated for it? And what do you love to do? If you could do anything in the world, are you doing it now? That career and mission, baby, it can take you out. Most of us spend hundreds of thousands of dollars going to school and never operating in what we went to school for. So I have a triple minor. My triple minor is in psychology, criminal justice, and education. My major is in sociology. I have worked in every freaking field. I wouldn't go waste my money because I love it. I love human interaction. I love human development. I love just helping people. I just love being in that position because you know why? It serves me so greatly in my contribution and giving back that I'm just very rarely down because I'm always giving. That energy just resides inside of me. So when I operated, like all of those degrees that I have and those minors that I have tied into who I have become today. They were very useful, but I'm so glad that I had educators and counselors that said to me, do what makes you happy, Lakendra. A lot of people don't have that. A lot of people follow in the footsteps of their parents, or, it's like, I'm going where the money is. And then, yeah, they are. They start out and they're making six figures, multiple six figures, but they're so unhappy because they don't have a lifestyle. They don't have great relationships. Their mind and emotions are all over the place. They can't take care of their bodies properly, but they have the career and they do make great contributions and they give back. But you got to have, this has to close the gap. No balance. You got to close this gap so you can operate meaningfully everywhere. So if you're not where you're supposed to be in your career or in your mission in life, you need to score it low and you need to work on that. Because I will say that sometimes we have to be in a position of where we are, right? And we got to work on where we want to be. So you could be in a job right now that you hate, but it's paying your bills. So we have to have gratitude there. That's going to attach to the spiritual life, right? If your spiritual life is strong, you will survive in this career and mission. Why? Because your principles will be in alignment. I know that I have to be here, but what does your faith say? I don't have to be here alone. So you're going to use that job and you're going to be grateful for it because it's paying your freaking bills. It's putting food on your table. It's putting a roof over your head. It is fulfilling your livelihood. Maybe not what you're passionate about, but it's fulfilling your livelihood. That's still fulfillment, right? But what you need to turn on, right, is that intelligence part of you to say, I'm going to use this job that I don't like very, very much, but I'm highly grateful for it to build the career that I want or to propel me into the position that I want, right? So when you start thinking that way, then you can easily take yourself from a 1 or 2 to a 4 or 5 real quick. Because I will say some of us have been, I remember when I worked for a pager company, that was not my ideal job, but that's what I had to do. I was in college. I worked at the pager company, and that pager company helped me to start writing out my business plan. You know why? Because I sat at a desk all day. And when I wasn't answering the phone to help people fix their pagers, I was writing out my business plan. Like I was doing stuff for myself. So you got to learn how to make it make sense. Don't overthink this stuff. Just make it make sense. Close the gap. Y'all got it? If you got it, put got it. I can't see none of your comments. I'll go back and read them later. So let's go over to money and finances. I'm not going to focus a lot on here because you got to have your mind right to be here. So that mind and emotions, career and mission, money and finances, you got to close that gap. You got to look at, okay, I am not living the lifestyle that I would love to live. Okay, so lifestyle may be depleted. That's why money is funny. Well, in order for you to live the lifestyle, that career and mission has to make sense. It has to also be a high priority. But if it's a low priority, that's the reason why money don't make sense. So I always tell people when you're struggling with how you earn money, how you keep money, how you grow money, and for financial freedom, career and mission, mind and emotions, and spirituality gotta make sense. That you gotta bring them, you gotta close the gap and you gotta bring this stuff together. You can't be walking around here talking about, oh, I wanna travel the world, I wanna do 3 or 4 vacations and extravagant vacations at that. And I want a house in a gated community and I want to drive, a really, really nice car and I want to be able to do this and that. But your mindset is stuck on, I just want to be a cashier. I'm just going to be a cashier for the rest of my life. And it's not to knock if you're a cashier, but a cashier mindset is not going to yield you 4 or 5 luxury vacations, gated community. It's just not realistic. It's just not realistic. So the realistic part of it, it's comfortable. It's comfortable because it doesn't require a lot of you, right? Even though I have had some of the greatest cashiers who had high level emotional intelligence, like I've left out of stores feeling like I want to go back in and spend another $500 because they made me feel so good, but they're not yielding. Maybe money isn't a high priority for them. I'm talking about people who do the most, like me, like I do the most. I want to give and I want to give at a high level, and my lifestyle is at a high, like right now I'm moving, I don't pack a thing. Like packers, they're packing, they started packing on Friday and they came back, they're going to finish packing on the day. Tomorrow the movers will be here. So I'll be at my new place on tomorrow, which will be Tuesday and Wednesday, I'm gonna be sitting in my new space with nothing but boxes and stuff because the packers don't come back until Thursday to unpack. So they'll come back and unpack and organize Thursday and Friday. That's the lifestyle that I live. And in order for me to maintain that lifestyle, money and finances and career and mission and how I feel about myself and the things that I deserve has to align. It has to be 4 or 5, 4 or 5, 4 or 5, all the way around there. You get me? So I don't want to spend a lot of time on here because this is what depresses people, and the reason why is because we won't realistically live the life that we deserve to live. You plan too small. You can be a cashier, but if you want that lifestyle, you need to be building a business for yourself. Or you need to be going back to school to get you some more skills or whatever. Maybe you're driving for Uber, right? I know I ride a Lyft. I don't even have a car, right? I ride a Lyft just about, you know, a couple of times a week if my husband's not driving me. And so what I've learned about those people who pick me up, and I pretty much have like the same drivers because they live around the area. We were to discuss, okay, I need to get off of this. Um, is that they're so driven. So they've learned how to make anywhere from $3,000 to $4,000 a week and build their business. So position yourself. If you want money, because money is energy, and all you got to do is just produce the energy to receive it. It's currency, right? It's a flow. So what you have to do is position yourself in action movement. It's I call it action movement desires. Write that down. Action movement desires. So you have to produce action movement desires in order to attract the energy of receiving currency. So you can't be in a low paying job and then have a big a big lifestyle mindset because it will drive you crazy. It would keep you in depression. So it has to make sense. You have to tap into your career and your mission, right? In order for you to drive your money and your finances. And in order for you to tap into your career and your missions, your mind and your emotions have to be okay. Because it's what are you really telling yourself in the inside? What have you really learned about money? What have you really learned about success? All greedy people aren't the only people that have money. You have people who are filled with love and joy that have money and they use their money for good. So you have to really start asking yourself and working on the mindset and your emotions around how you want to show up in this life in order for you to even grow in your career, in your mission. And then the money will come, your finances will come. But if you're operating in limiting beliefs, if you're operating in imposter syndrome, if you're operating in low emotionals, low vibrations, then that attraction of money will I'm not saying it will never happen, but you will have to really, really work your ass off to get it. It's gonna be sad money. You don't want to make sad money. You want to make joyful money. You want to make money that is going to replenish itself, right? If I spend $500 today, I know I'm gonna make it. Like it's no doubt in my mind because that's my mindset now. I'm gonna spend $500 a day, and I know I'll make it back. I don't be like, oh my gosh, I can't spend this. Should I spend this $500? Where I'm gonna get another $500 from? That's not my mindset. And people who struggle with money and finances, that's your mindset. I be like, I deserve this. I'm gonna spend it, and I'm gonna make it back. Boom, just like that. So score yourself a one or a two in this money and finances if you struggle. If you struggle with how you earn money, keep money, grow money. I know how to do all three. I know how to earn money, I know how to keep money, and I know how to grow money. It took me years to learn it, but thank God. Thank God I keep it real with myself. And I'm not going to be, shrinking because I don't want to pack. Because won't we shrink? We will shrink when, oh my gosh, I can dare say that I have, a housekeeper because then people think I'm vain. Well, I also have a learning disability, so I gotta have a housekeeper because I am junky, or I will live in a shit show. And sometimes it looked like that, even with the housekeeper. So you got to be for real about you and your lifestyle and stop worrying about what other people are going to think about you. Because I will say, how you treat others is how people are going to think about you. So don't even worry about it. Those people that's out there talking, until they meet you, to be so funny. Until people meet me, they be like, "Oh my gosh, you're so sweet. I just thought, like, what did you freaking think about me? Why do you have so much judgment there? You must be depleted. You depleted somewhere, and I need for you to go work on that gap because judging people by their appearance of what they have is like the craziest thing to me. We need to stop that. We need to stop that. I don't know if y'all seen that experiment. I think I saw it on TikTok where this guy, he was playing like he was homeless. He didn't have anything. And the person that he targeted, she had on these really, really skimpy clothes. And so he didn't think that she would be the one that would help him, but she was the one that helped him the most. I'm talking about she went and bought stuff for him and then took money out of the ATM and gave him money. And he was just like, oh my gosh, like I would have never expected that from you. And so to me, that's just so low EQ. We have to stop judging people by what they look like. It could be the person that will change the trajectory of your life. Okay. Okay. That was a whole little tangent of mine because I be trying to help us out. I be trying to help my people out because we are the worst at it. We are the critics of all critics. Okay. Um, I'll never forget this one last story. I'll never forget. I had a friend of mine that said, like, "Oh, Lakendra, you're so powerful, and you run this $1 million company, and da 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 da. And when you do your lives and stuff, like, you really should check for your lighting. You need to be set up. Put your little suits on." I was like, "Girl, who has time for that?" If people are going to judge me, not knowing, because I gotta be brave to even be coming on here talking this way, right? So if people are going to judge me based off if I got on makeup or not, a sweatshirt or not, maybe my hair ain't straight or not, then they're not my people. I don't want to do business with them. You feel me? Because Lakendra got all her stuff together. That's why I'm able to sit here and do this. So we be on social media and we be really judging people, especially people who are showing up and giving value. Not on here doing this dumb shit, but on here giving value. Honor that space. Honor that space, because that means that they are confident in a lot of these areas to even be present, to even give their time. I've been on here for 1 hour and 46 seconds. So that's gold. That's something I can never take back. I can never take that time back. So I'm showing up, giving value, and regardless of what I look like, it should be enough. Y'all feel me? So let's get to spirituality, because I'm so in alignment. I'm in alignment with spirituality. I'm a 5. Money and finances, I'm a 4. I'm still at a 4 because I have a goal that I am striving to reach, and I'm not going to put myself at a 5. So I'm going to put myself at a 4, just so you know, because I said I was going to give y'all my score. Spirituality, I'm a 5. I'm solid. I'm solid in my morals and my ethics. I am solid in my relationship and what I believe in, my higher power. My detachment of ego is unmatched. I have truly learned. I've learned when I'm operating in ego and when I need it to stay for my own protection, or when I need to release it because it serves no purpose in the experience, right? So when you learn how to just release it because it serves no purpose to your growth, then you have mastered detachment of ego. Sometimes we need ego. Ego is not always bad. We have a positive ego that protects us with our boundaries, right? To other people, it may seem negative because you have to say no, or you have to say, "I can't do this for you right now," or you have to say, "Hey, I may have to delay this," or "I can't show up for you." But that is not negative ego. That's positive ego that is going to serve you in your own self care. Then you have negative ego that does nothing but causes conflict in relationships, conflict in how you think, conflict in how you treat yourself, and conflict with how you show up and celebrate yourself or celebrate others. So, baby, that ego thing, I had to work real, real hard. I actually had to go to therapy for it because I had one of the biggest egos. Most people who are highly into personal development, they have some of the biggest egos. That's the reason why we stay in it. Because I can either be really, really, really nice or not nice because that's the ego. So I just choose to just stay really, really nice or lock myself up and get myself together. That's the truth. It's the truth, the truth, the truth. Right? So, how are you in working with your ego? And how are you in getting very censored and quiet in your emotions? How are you at doing that? Can you sometimes, well, not sometimes, most times I can sit and not hear anything. When I'm very intentional about just going into peace, that is a practice. When it's so loud and chaotic, and because I have ADHD, right? And it's like, "Oh my gosh, don't claim that." Well, damn it, I've been having it since I was 6. I've been diagnosed since I was 6 years old. So I got it and it's real. But I've learned how to quiet my mind because it be so busy. And throughout the day, every day, I have to go so inward so I can get so still and welcome in peace because my brain is chaotic. People who are truly diagnosed with ADHD, you know exactly what I'm talking about. We have a very chaotic brain. But I will say that you can control that chaotic brain and it doesn't have to be with medication. If you score yourself at a 1 or a 2 in spirituality, then it will make you work on bringing in peace into your life or you can wean yourself off of that medication. I haven't been on medication in years, decades, and you can too. But you have to stop saying, "Oh, I'm good. I'm good with my, with my spiritual self," but you're not because you're not living in authenticity. You're all over the place with your spirituality. You're practicing this, and this, and this, and it's so complicated. Your spiritual life is so freaking complicated. I talk to my friends about this who are always sad and are always doing this, but they have all these spiritual practices, and I just tell them it's too much. Keep it simple. Keep your spiritual life so simple. What is your one divine? And whatever it is, connect with it and learn that divine way and order your life in alignment with it. So, what is your one divine way? Not several, because when you have several divine ways, it's too much. It's like straddling the fence here, there, and everywhere. So what is your spiritual being and what are the principles that are in alignment with your spiritual being? And when you know those things, you can align your life with it and that will help you to create boundaries and that will help you to bring peace and joy into your life. That's just how it goes. But a lot of us struggle with this because, oh, I'm practicing universal law here, and then I'm practicing, my spiritual laws here, and then I'm into my crystals and my meditations and my woo me. It's just too much. It has to make sense. And I'm gonna tell you how it don't make sense because you are an emotional roller coaster, and you literally go off grid for long periods of time because you're so freaking depressed, or you've done something that is so out of alignment with who you are, and you drop off the face of the earth because of shame and guilt. Cause that was some shit you was not supposed to be doing. Like, oh, I'm gonna eat these mushrooms and I'm gonna go into, this part of my life and then you end up having 4 or 5 orgies and like this is listen, I've been in this industry for so long, I have heard it all. The spiritual orgy parties because I was practicing this. If that didn't make you feel good, that was not in alignment with your spiritual self. Or I was just high as a kite and I was connected to the planets and the galaxies and then for the rest of the month because opened up the gates of hell and the rest of the month you were depressed and it caused a domino effect in your life. Don't play with your spiritual self. It's not to be played with. Set your morals and your ethics. What type of relationship are you having with your higher power, which is your inner voice? I'm a God girl. God speaks to me, and He cannot speak or it cannot speak to me through everybody else. I hear exactly where God wants me to be. God can bring me prophets to confirm, but you can't confirm something I don't already know or have heard. I do not play with the higher power. Detach from ego. When you live in ego wants you to be so dependent on it because it's chaotic. So that's the reason why you be all over the place. Detach from it. Just surrender. Surrender. Just ego leave, negative ego leave, and then live in alignment with the ego that you desire. Right? Meditation practices, I always talk about me being, mentored by Monk Tashi in my late 20s. And what meditation practices did for me was help me to speak in prayer and sit and wait for understanding and confirmation and answers. That's all meditation is. Just sitting still. You don't gotta and you gotta do all of the things. If that's what you into, that's good. But for me, it's just sitting still. I need to bring peace into my brain so I can hear from my universe, right? That's all it is. And then letting go of negative emotions. What is happening to me? Understanding the negative emotions impact our behaviors, then impact our routines, our daily routines, how we treat ourselves and how we treat others. I'm a 5. I'm a solid 5 with spirituality. I'm a 4 with money and finances. I'm a 5. I'm gonna say I'm a 4 plus. I'm a 4 plus with career and missions because it's just so much other stuff. Like I'm so lit up every day. I'm so lit up in what I do, in this world that I've created for myself. So I'm a score myself a 4 plus there. Lifestyle, I got it together. I got it together. I'm a 3 though. Remember I talked about body? I'm a 3. I used to be a 2. Well, I used to be a 1 and I grew to a 2 and now I'm a 3. By the age of 50, I'm gonna be a 5. That's my goal. And because I know where I am depleted, that is where my responsibility lie. Where are you depleted? Which area do you most want to focus on improving out of the 7 dimensions? Where do you want to focus most on? Just write it down. And then what are you committed to doing? What are you committed? Where are you focused? Where are you committed? All you got to do and say, this is where my focus is. This is where my commitment is. And I want you to do that for your top 2. And let's focus on the top 2 for the first quarter of the year. The first quarter is January, February, and March. I want you to focus on 2 areas where you scored yourself a 1 or a 2. I want you to commit to it. And if you need additional help, my school offers a life coach membership. It's just like a gym membership. It's $247 a month. You get 4 coaching sessions, 4 30-minute coaching sessions, or you can turn your 2 30 minutes into an hour, and then you can get 2 2-hour coaching sessions. However you and the coach set it up. No, I am not going to be your coach. I don't got time for that, but I have some bad kick-ass coaches who can help you through the growth of where you are now and where you want to be and closing that gap. So if you need that help, I will put I'll come out of here because I'm getting ready to close this out and put the website in the comments so you can go. And instead of maybe your body is a 3 to a 5, or maybe your body is a 1 or a 2. But I will say that even if you score your body as a 1 or a 2, instead of you going and get a gym membership, when your mind and emotions are scored also at a 1 or a 2, you're going to still fail at the body. Does that make sense? All this stuff works together. That's the reason why we can't find peace and alignment. So I will say that you need to have a coach that can help you raise your vibrations. So if your body is scored at a 1 or a 2 and your mindset is scored at a 1 or a 2, we need to help get your mindset at a 3, 4, or 5 so you can actively go to the gym and be consistent and disciplined. But I will say baby, if you depleted in mind and emotions too, it's going to be hard for you to reach your health goals, your fitness goals, and your appearance goals with your body. Trust me, I've been there, done that. So hire a life coach. Consider that. Consider hiring a life coach. And let me turn this back around. Okay. Exit full screen. Excellent. Oh, y'all are here. Hey. Okay, I see the comments now. But consider just hiring you a coach. Consider our coaching membership. It's just like a gym membership. I would say 3 solid months of that's 12 sessions, 3 solid months of working with one of our impeccable life coaches. Commit to make a financial commitment to yourself that'll also help you increase, that financial and money goal part of your life when you start depositing into yourself, right? Do that for yourself moving into the new year. So, one of the coaches that are on, can you put the website down now that I see that y'all are on? Can I put it? Let me see if I can put it out here. Oh, okay. I think I can do it. So I just put it in globalcoachentrepreneur.org. Spell entrepreneur right, right? So if you're writing it down, because maybe you're on YouTube and you can't see okay. Coach Adam said he did. Okay, great. So go to the website and say, I need a coach. It's like I want to become a coach, I need a coach, or join a professional community. That's not activated as of yet. We're revamping that. But the first two are. So if you want to become a coach and just learn how to self-coach yourself through this, because most people just come and take the course and they're just like, how can I just do this for myself? And I'm like, hey, come and learn the model, come and learn the self-coaching model, which is our I Care Global Heart model. Come and learn how to live the lifestyle of a life coach, right? Live the lifestyle of a life coach and just take the course. And in that way, it's like the highest level of personal development that you can take. It's the highest level. Or just go and hire a coach. Hire a coach. It's very, very affordable. I don't think you will find any other affordable memberships for coaching anywhere else. And if you do, let me know. Hook me up. Hook me up and let me know. So that's all that I have. It's 12:31. I'm going to get it ready now to go to the office. Like I said, I didn't want to go to the office and be there all day. So about 1 o'clock is good because the packers will be done about 4 o'clock, and I'll be able to come home to a fully packed home and ready to move on Tuesday morning. So keep me in your thoughts and your prayers. And I'm sending you all love and light. And y'all be good. Make this week count. Okay? Make this week count. And I will talk to you when I talk to you maybe before the new year. I don't know. So let me get out of here and y'all be good. Bye for now.